Welcome to another live episode of Halftime Adjustments. It's your host, Eddie Arnell, man, Mr. J. Lou. What's going on, J. Lou? Back for 2025, man.
Yes, sir. Tighten up, baby. Tighten up.
Tighten up, man. G Witt is out tonight, but he'll be back with us next time. But man, here we are, J. Lou, man. We've had the 2025 offseason, man. We saw some of the goals of this new administration, if I will. They wanted to build the interior first, and we saw with the additions, more at tackle. Was Zetters at guard? I forgot how to pronounce his name, but you follow me. And so,
Yes,
and then you saw Jones on the defensive side of the ball, and so you see where this team was going, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, you heard Borgonzi said in his press conference that he wanted to build from the trenches, and you've seen that. I mean, if you follow the show enough last year, you know that we talked about. I mean, everybody knows the Titans' offensive line is what it is, but we felt like last year we saw us get whipped up a little bit more on the defensive side of the ball in the trenches, especially as the season progressed. And the key word we talked about there was depth. So really trying to build up both sides of line of scrimmage and free agency. And I again, I'd be glad about some of the pickups they got on the offensive line, especially given what we're going to talk about later on from a draft standpoint. You're making it where if this line can just be NFL average, then that's better play than you saw last year.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And and we heard Callie say a lot, man, about the quarterback and the timing can help your pass protection. And we've seen that. I mean, just look at some of the past teams that's been in the Super Bowl, like the Bengals. I think of Joe Burrow. Of course, Joe Burrow's another level of quarterback, but the timing, but the receivers getting open. Even for Pat Mahomes, we saw what happened. He hit the offensive line in the Super Bowl.
Yes.
When that timing is thrown off by the defensive scheme, then it makes it kind of tough for any quarterback. And so, like you said, man, it's good to see that they've addressed those areas. And the draft, man, I'm gonna let you start tonight. But you as I was looking across the scene of Titan Nation, right, on social media, I mean, they were just dogging the front office. And me and you was texting back and forth and tweeting back and forth on some things. And man, we was like, hey, let's give him a chance. Yeah. First one, right? First one. I mean, they already ready to throw him in the fire, man.
Man, it's so funny. You saw people on Twitter say that, we thought Rand was over his head, which again, I'm not going to talk about the Rand firing, but we thought Rand was over his head. We thought Borgonzi was supposed to be good. Then you get at the end of the draft and it's like, okay, maybe he put something together. You just gotta sit back and let it play out. And the problem with the draft when you get into 4th, 5th, 6th round, especially in college ball now, a lot of the names you're not really knowing per se until you dig in behind the scenes. And there's some great followers, some great Titans media guys on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. They do a phenomenal job breaking down and really studying the draft. Right. So those are kind of the ones that I was trying to follow to get their sense. Overall, man, I think the Titans, I mean, you've seen some draft grades come out from A- to B+ or whatnot. I thought they had a solid draft, maybe a couple reaches. But overall, I think the one thing as a Titan fan that I was glad to see in this draft, you did not touch any draft capital for next year.
You did.
So you didn't get, and you came away with, I think, 9 picks out of the draft. You was able to get some. You traded. Baltimore gave us. That was Baltimore's way of saying thank you for Derrick Henry.
I think so too.
Because that trade they gave us to go get their wide receiver, that was hey, here's the. I mean, we really just swapped picks in 2 rounds. So
right.
But I thought, and again, it's on paper right now, so we won't see it until September. But on paper, you like what you saw from the draft, starting with the most most worst kept secret in the NFL since the combine. We knew who number 1 was going to be.
Yeah. Number 1 was, you know what? They did a really good job of
selling it.
Yeah, selling it. I mean, but the moves said it all, right?
Oh,
interior, the line,
yes.
the roster moves. All the offensive linemen. They signed, like I said, Dan Moore, Kevin Zeitler. To solidify the left tackle and the right guard position. We hope the left tackle position is solidified. But like you said, there's things that they could do to help that out, if you will. And then like you said, the number one pick. Of course, it was a good scene for us to see.
Yes.
And if you've been following us since last season, even after last season was over, we was like Cam or Shador.
Mm-hmm.
I said Cam. I would take Cam. J. Lou said Shador at one time, and he said Cam, and G. Wiz said something else. But at the end of the day, it depends on what kind of quarterback you want. And
Right.
to me, the guy has a live arm. He can throw all angle throws. He's a good leader. He's humble, and he's ready to work, man. So
yes,
we'll see what happens. And but obviously the number one pick. But let's talk about the second pick of the draft for the Titans, because I thought it was pretty interesting. Oluwafemi Oladejo. Man, I got that right.
You got it right. All right, Keith Bullock.
UCLA. Man, 6'3", 250 pounds. J. Lou, talk to me about this young man.
Yeah, that's the one that some folks might consider a reach per se, more of an edge. I mean, when we think of edge, we think of pass rushers, etc. That's what we say we need off the ball. He's good at setting the edge. Mm-hmm. Good size, but whatnot. But again, that's the one that folks think at that pick, because you think that your second round, and again, we saw it. We saw our second rounder last year, T. Sweat, come in, have to be a starter. So you under the assumption that your second rounder would be a starter. And again, if you look at this D-line right now, I see no reason why he shouldn't. I think the great thing I like to hear when he was doing his call with the media is that he's familiar with Denard's system, because some of the schemes and techniques is the same thing he was running at UCLA. Right. So it'd be interesting to see how he adapts. I will tell you, and I'll go ahead and say this part now because it's for the entire draft. One thing about him, if I'm not mistaken, he was a team captain, very high character guy. And that if you look at the history of all these draft picks, all of these guys were high character. When you talk about setting the culture, trying to set that, go away from that losing culture and have some strong stability on the team. I mean, if you think about our team right now, your leader you got is Big Jeff.
Right.
That's who everybody goes to. So who else can help build that culture when you let so many veterans go? So that's the one thing I think that this front office went into the offseason about, is trying to get some good culture guys. But again, I think we can see him day one in September.
Yeah, no doubt. Man, appreciate y'all joining us tonight, man. My pops is on tonight. Mikey, thank you for joining us, man. Rodney, Darius, man, good to see y'all back, man.
Yes,
we
sir.
back. I know it's been a minute, but man, we are back and talking about the draft tonight. So yeah, they say he has a great motor. One thing I like, J. Lou, about this pick, even though like you said, some people can call it a reach, and could be, right? We don't know. Yeah. But he moved from inside to outside. And so how many times last year did we see, and not even last year before that, we saw Harold Landry dropping in the coverage. That's not his strong suit.
Nope.
And so now you got a guy that can play the edge, that can also drop back off the line of scrimmage and play coverage as well, and do pretty well. He picked off Cam Ward when Cam Ward played for Washington State. Yeah. And he can set the edge. And he's a big body guy, 6'3", 259. Like I said, he made a lot of noise at the Senior Bowl. His stock was, ascending, and so he could be a steal of the draft. You listen to a lot of the analysts, what they say, he could be a steal of the draft. I mean, long arms. I mean, he can't do nothing but help.
Yeah, and again, in our defense, I think you will see him be more of a pass rusher for us, especially this rookie season, to help bring him along. Which again, to your point, can't do nothing but help, because we need pass rushers.
Right. Third round, J. Lou, man. So. Look, it's kind of strange, and I say that because we all Titans fans got a little PTSD, right? A little PTSD because we've been this route before, right? Yes, we have. We've drafted Caleb Farley, who was hurt, right? That didn't turn out right. On the other side of the coin, we drafted Big Jeff off of ACL. You see, we are there,
right?
Kevin Winston Jr. Now, I will say this. If I heard him correctly after his draft interview, he said he ran a 40 on the pro day.
He did. He did run the 40 in his pro day. He said his ACL tear was week 3 after the third game of the season. So you're thinking mid-October, just based off the calendar for the NCAA. So, I mean,
if he's running the 40
right now,
he might be ready for training camp.
Yeah, he might be one of these ones that's ready for camp. And I'm just gonna be. I said it to y'all. This could be Kevin Byard the sequel. I think this guy's a safety that is a starter and a bona fide stuff for us in a couple of years.
Oh, I 100% agree.
Yeah.
I 100% agree. They say he's an aggressive downhill defender who chases, who tackles. He makes big hits. He also plays special teams. He breaks on the ball well. He has great size, 6'2", 215, and
Yes.
speed. I think he was a 4'3", 4'4" guy. And
Mhm.
again, if you listen to, I'm gonna give Nick Saban his shout out. If you listen to what Nick Saban said and some of those guys, this might be the steal of the whole draft. They
Yeah.
said if this guy didn't tear his ACL, he might have been top 15, easy.
Yes,
And
easy.
so, for the scouts to do their homework and to get a player of this caliber when they got him. So,
And again, this is one of them picks, as you said earlier. The front office knew that it was going to come with some noise because you've got the fan base triggered with injury prone type guys. But again, it was an early injury. The way you see medicine just 3 years ago to now, especially with these ACLs, my man tore it in October and ran a 40 less than 6 months later. And that 40 he ran was he was in the 4.45 to 4.5 range on a torn ACL.
At 6'2", 215 safety.
Yes.
Right to say he had a debate with his homeboy was calling Cam a bust, but I beg to differ. I don't know what Cam he looked at.
Yeah,
I don't know what Cam he looked at. And what I love about Cam, man, is that where he came from. No star coming out of high school, right? No recruit, right? And went to Incarnate Word, which I think is a JUCO, maybe a D3, something like that. I can't remember what it is. But still, to come from where he came from and to be the number one pick in the draft and to be a Heisman finalist, come on, man. What else you want a quarterback?
Didn't he win the Davey O'Brien?
He did.
I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
So, we'll see, man. I loved his demeanor. He's ready to work. And I just think the sky's the limit for him, man.
I do too.
4th round, Mr. Taylor. Another pick that some people might call a reach, right? Chimere Dike, receiver from Florida, 6'1", 196, ran a 4.34, averaged 18.6 yards a catch. Didn't have a lot of receiving yards, but they liked because he can play inside, he can play outside, and he's a special teams guy.
And he ran a 4.3. Yeah. Let's just pause at that. For the longest, we've talked about speed at wide receiver. Now, again, I think you could have flipped, and this is where this is the 4th round, so this is day 3. This is where I think that the front office made MVPs of the draft because I don't think they had a bad 3rd day. Start with this one again. To your point, some people think it's a reach, and you could have flipped it with one of the other ones in the 4th, but you're giving your quarterback another weapon. We've got to get younger in that room, and we've got to get faster. And you've got somebody that played big time ball because he played at the University of Florida. I reached out to one of my buddies who's a Gator fan, and he was like, he's like, you got a good one. He's got some. He had a few drops, I think, the year before last, but he was like, you've got a good one. And again, I like to see them giving a young quarterback a mix of young receivers to go along with the vets that we haven't even talked about. They're still on the team. But 4.3 speed, I'll take that all day. And again, we really might get a chance to see how Cali offense operates if, again, the offensive line gives him time and just to see what role will he put this guy in? Because I foresee him taking a couple of 5-yard hitches and take him to the house, and that's what this offense has missed.
Yeah. That and like you said, and I was looking at something earlier today, man, and everybody in the wide receiver room had like 4.3, 4.4 speed. I was like, wow. Yes. I don't think we've ever seen that much speed in a while, man. Nathan, man, appreciate you joining us, man. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you back. I like you said, a lot of people was like the guy to Utah, he was still there, and some other. Yeah, but they definitely had an idea of a player, right? They mentioned a lot. They want high character guys. They're trying to build a culture where it's high character, accountable, locker room,
and they want guys that just would love to play football.
They want guys that love to play football, and even boy Zangi, I know I didn't jack his name up, but Mike, he even said they want guys that they don't have to waste energy on, making sure they're where they need to be.
Yes,
Right.
right.
Yeah, Nathan, I'm not gonna hype it just yet because remember last year, after all the free agency moves that we did, we was kind of hyped too. I'm gonna try to temper the expectations right now.
Me too. Me too, Nathan.
Until we see. But no, it did feel good. I thought they knocked the draft out of the park, man.
Mm-hmm.
Even with some of these, like you said, maybe reaches.
Yeah.
Now, the next pick in round 4 they got. To me, J. Lou, and I'll let you go on this one first. I think this might be another steal.
I think I texted to y'all when the pick came across. Yeah. We're talking about Gunnar Helm from Texas, tight end, who he might be starting week 1. And that ain't a stretch. And that's no knock on Chig. That's no knock on Wiley. If you just watch his tape,
yes,
I mean, it's still a lot of development for him to go, but he was an absolute stud for Texas. And I agree with you. One of the possible steals. Great. He's developed to a route runner over his last few years at Texas, and don't mind getting down and blocking. And then again, when you talk about the traits, a guy that just loves football, think team captain, etc. So he's definitely one that it wouldn't shock me if we were doing a recap show week 6 and he's already tight end 1.
Right. I agree with you, man. So somebody's not gonna get some reps.
Yeah, right.
So he's either Wiley or Chig.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and Wiley has some issues with some concussions and stuff. But man, that Gunnar is Helm it 6'5", 241. He's a long strider, has speed to make plays down the seam. He catches, he breaks tackles. Mm-hmm. He's got some yak as well. Yes. And he can block.
Yes.
And so, I mean, again, a great job with this front office, man. Mikey said, "How long is Burks before he's gone?" You know what, Mikey? That's a great question because to me, Jay Lou, and I know what you gonna say too. I think he's gonna be there at least to training camp. I think they're gonna give him a shot. I really do. You listen to what they say.
No, I was about to say, Mikey. I think they want to see what he can do in camp, especially coming off the injury. And I think they give him a chance. And then if he just struggles at camp and preseason, then I think he's one of those late releases before the 53. But I 100% agree. I think you see him last until camp.
Yeah. I just think because Callahan kind of likes him. I think.
Yes.
You listen to how he talks about him. I think he at least gets that chance.
Yeah.
I think he at least gets a chance. And so here's one of the brilliant moves again by the front office. They trade back up into the 4th, like you said. They swapped with Baltimore basically and give up a 5th. They had 2 5th rounds. They ended up giving one back to Baltimore. These last, I gotta get these names, man.
Hey, man, yeah.
Receiver. Elic Yomanor. I
think.
Yeah, appreciate it. 6'2", 206 Stanford. Now, after we drafted this young man, I told Jay Lou, I said, we got the Travis Hunter equalizer.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the game against Stanford for Travis Hunter, this guy gave Travis Hunter the business.
But I tell you, if you look at Travis Hunter's game film, this is the only film in his college career that's bad.
Yeah,
as a DB.
I mean, 13 for 204 is what he had for the game.
Yes.
I mean, so it was like the front office said, okay, y'all want to draft Travis Hunter? We got something for that.
and this is one of those picks when you pinged me about the trade back up. This is one where this was their guy, and they knew that he wasn't falling to the 5th round for him.
They knew it.
Again, Baltimore gave us the, hey, we'll give you a deal because you let us get the Derrick Henry trade. Yep. And went up and got arguably, this is the guy that everybody thought outside of the Utah State guy that you would have took at pick 103 when they took Dyke. So to come away with Dyke and Elite out of that, and again, he's a big target that can get down the field, get no problem with contested catches. And again, this is another weapon for somebody to stretch the field for your young quarterback. I like what we're doing, what we did. And it all has to come to fruition and get on the field. It does. But you've got a good leader in Cam from everything that you saw. Mm-hmm. You've got a whole young core coming in with him of wide receivers that you just hope gets up under his wing and they all grow together. And it'll be great for us as Titan fans.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, some of the stuff they were saying, he gets off press coverage well. I mean, again, you saw this. He attacks defenders. One thing they really said that he does is block.
Block.
He
yes,
does really
I was
well.
say block.
He's good out of his routes, his cuts. He works back to the ball. You saw that against Travis Hunter when they played the Buffaloes, and how he got back to the ball a lot. And Nathan said he moused him. He did mouse him.
Yes, he did mouse him.
And so he tracks the ball well. He makes those contested catches, and he's tough, right? He did have a few drops that made a concern. But like you said, they knew that this was their guy, and he wasn't going to go any further.
Yeah, he wasn't going to make it to him. Yeah.
And I thought this was a great pick. I mean, you pair him up with Calvin Ridley, and then some more people we'll talk about here in a minute. You know, you got from Cincinnati, from the Seahawks. I forgot his name already.
Lockett.
You got Tyler Lockett. They can play in the slot.
Yes.
Right? I know he's 32 years old, but he's a slot guy. You throw this guy in the mix with Ridley. You got you some tight end. I mean, the weapons are starting to look pretty good.
Yes.
Just right now they are. Anyway.
Right now they
are. And so as we go on to Ellick is why Burks should be gone. That's facts.
I agree.
That's facts, Taylor. That's facts, man. Appreciate that. Jackson Slater, man, in the 5th round, Sacramento State, 6'3", 311. Center and guard. Jay Lou, talk to me about Mr. Slater.
He was one of the Senior Bowl MVPs.
Yes.
He is your starting guard or center. You hope guard because you hope that Cushenberry works out for the length of his contract.
Mm-hmm.
But this is your starting right guard in a year or two. He can come in, be behind the veteran. Again, one thing that stood out about Jackson Slater down at the Senior Bowl, he came from Sacramento State.
Yes.
And he had the opportunity with NIL to leave. And he just said he didn't. He said he felt like something, building something there, making a name for himself there. He was a teammate of Scatterbo, the running back that went to Arizona State.
I want a Scatterbo, man.
Oh, man. But they said at the Senior Bowl, they wanted to see, scouts and everybody wanted to see how he did step it up in competition. And he handled his own with pancakes delivering with syrup.
Yes.
So again, I think that in a perfect world, now again, you've got Daddy Callahan, who probably had a say in this pick that gets his hands on somebody with this pedigree.
Right.
In a perfect world, Daddy Callahan doesn't want him to start this year. He hopes that I forget his name, the guard that we got.
Ziegler. Kevin Ziegler.
You hope that Kevin, the veteran, works out and you can continue to help groom this young man to get him in the NFL, and he's your starter moving forward. But I thought excellent pick in the 5th round. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, man. Excellent pick. Excellent depth guy. Again, like you said, you got a center guard guy that can, play both positions. Nasty. If you saw some of his highlights from the Senior Bowl, very nasty. Good size, good violent hands as well. He ran well at the combine, and he has a lot of power, right? And anchoring, and just again another great find about his front office. Again, I thought they just did well. Well.
Yeah.
Round 6, which is our last round. We have any 7th round picks this year. Marcus Harris, J. Lou, 5'11", 189 out of California, DB. Transferred from Idaho over to Oregon State as a walk-on, right?
Yeah.
And so ended up at California. And probably you see more of special teams for him, man. But he tackles well. He gets caught out of phase sometimes. But again, I look at this guy. I look at him as a special teamer going forward for this team this year.
I look at him as a special teamer, and I look at him as the wild card for slot. Because
really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I really do. This is a draft class that you've had 1 year with the coaching staff. So you want to try to get some players in here now that fit their scheme. And I told y'all this off season. I mean, we haven't had I like Roger McCreary, but McCreary said it himself. He struggled in the defensive scheme last year. So McQuarrie's contract, to talk about contracts, is at the same kind of level that Eric, who was the guy we got rid of last year? Molden. Elijah Molden. At the same, like those incentives are about to kick in. And again, it just wouldn't shock me come July or August if McQuarrie's traded, and especially if this guy has a good camp, because I think he fits better in the slot than he will outside. And if he has a good camp, it would not shock me to see that move made, because you get cheaper at that slot position and somebody who can who actually might fit the scheme better than your current starter.
Yeah, and he's more of a zone guy, right? And
Yeah.
so typically you play those guys inside, and we'll see what he does, man. Good size, 5'11", 189,
Yeah.
and again, just some, a lot of some people are saying a lot of the picks by the Titans were development picks.
Development picks.
Maybe a couple of them, I will say that, but again, I just think the quality of what we're seeing is good for the future as we try to rebuild this roster. Now you got to remember, man, this roster has been churning for the last 2 years, right? Yeah. Which is behind what we've been talking about, some years ago. But you think about it now, Jeffrey Simmons, Amani Hooker, and Roger McQuarrie, those are the old heads.
Those are the vets now, yes.
Right. This team that's been here the longest. And so the other 6th-round pick, is Khalil Mullins, running back from Michigan, 6'2", 226. I wanted Scatterbo. I really like Scatterbo because he brought a lot to the table. But this guy, man, he used to be a linebacker.
Linebacker, I was just going to say.
Back in 22, and he's big and he's powerful and he runs hard and he breaks tackles and he pushes the pile. Yeah. And so you wanted something. We've been talking about this because we needed somebody that can be a thumper for this offense, man. But talk to me about Mr. Mullins.
I mean, well, he took the starting position from the guy that made the NCAA football cover, who didn't even get drafted. The other running back from Michigan didn't even get drafted. So I mean that, and if you go back and look at the Ohio State game, because Michigan beat Ohio State, he won that game himself. Put the team on his back. So a good hard-nosed runner, like you said, thumper, used to be a linebacker, which lets you know that up here in the head, he crazy because he just want to hit somebody. So you got somebody who's gonna push the pile, get those short yardages, and it gives you a different back than what you got. Because again, I think that what we got now in Spears and Pollard are a 1A and 1B because they're almost similar back. This guy can come in and be something different, especially it gets cold and gets late in the year. Even goal line package. I mean, we saw it first. We saw a struggle in the goal line situations to go last year, and now you got somebody that can move that 1.5 yards or 2 yards. But and again a good special team player. But yeah, I'm like, I wanted Scatterbo, but watching him and then seeing exactly what he did in Michigan, I was like, okay, I understand the vision because you just need somebody that's he's a linebacker playing running back. That's all you need to know.
Right. And so, I mean, there it is, man. That's the 2025 draft class. I thought, I thought they did pretty well. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna overhype it because, like I said last year, we got kind of burnt. But we're trying to build something with this regime, right? We got a franchise quarterback. We've got on some weapons. We've revamped the offensive line. We've added to the defensive line, and this is year 2 of the Denard Wilson system on defense, right? Which you pretty much got everybody back intact. Callie really hadn't. To me, Jay Lou, and I just hear what you got to say on this. I don't know if he's really fully implemented his scheme because his quarterback didn't work out for him. So we'll see more, I would think, right, for Cam.
I 100% agree. I think that you've got the difference that you'll see. And again, people say Cam has a little bit of Will Levis in him with hero ball sometimes. Yeah. But the difference is Cam has it up here. He knows how to forget it and he just stays cool and calm. Will Levis, the first time he throws a pick, he's done for the rest of the game. And that just gets you out of it. So I'd be curious to see how much more we see of Callahan implementing his system. And again, I think he will still slowly bring it along.
Yeah. So, and I want to touch on the free agents real quick, undrafted free agents, because it was pretty interesting, right? It's pretty interesting that you getting Cam's favorite target, right?
Yes.
Xavier Restrepo. Excuse me. Now, I know he ran a 4.8 at the combine. I mean, at his pro day. I get it, right? But if you look at his games, man, his game speed is a lot faster. This guy, I mean, stats galore. Yes. I mean, stats galore. 1,500 yards. I think he had back-to-back seasons over 1,000 yards receiving.
Yes.
And this was before Cam. So now that he's here, So, Like what? So what do you think, Jay Lou? You know, you get his favorite receiver, so somebody's leaving. You got like what 9 receivers on the roster right now?
It's like 11 between 11 and 13. It was too many to count. I think that he can be a absolute steal, especially as an undrafted free agent. And again, your quarterback was kind of advocating for him.
He was.
They said Cam started talking to him in the 4th or 5th round. And again, when he didn't get drafted, I knew he was coming here because when you undrafted, you got your chance to kind of pick where you're gonna go based off that. So I think that's a good pickup. And again, it's somebody that familiar with your quarterback, they can help bring him along and they can learn the system together. So he's gonna be I think he's gonna be a tough stud. I also think if you look at the undrafted free agents, they got the offensive tackle out of Florida, who could be a swing tackle, big boy. Brandon Crenshaw Dixon, definitely can be a big size. And then cornerbacks, they've got 3. They got one out of Penn State, Jalen Kimber, who I think again can be a underrated dog. And then the one from Iowa, I think signed today, Jamari Harris. Again, this is the one that has some off the field issues, but if you listen to Borgonzi when he was asked about that, he was like, when they do their vetting process, everybody was 20 and 21 at one time and made dumb decisions, as if you learn from those. And this is the same man that selected Tyreek Hill. And we know Tyreek Hill's off the field issue. So keep an eye on Harris at cornerback as an undrafted free agent, because he can make some noise and really make the 53. That's I think Xavier, I think the wide receiver, I think he's almost a given, so I don't want to say him. But if I had another wild card from the undrafteds that I thought would be on the 53, Harris is my pick that I'm going with.
Nice. I like that. That's a good pick, man. That's a good pick. It's going. I think again, this front office has done a really good job. The scouting department, and you listen to them how they were talking. They said they've been working together since March when the whole process began, and it's again. I don't want, like I said, I don't want to get overhyped about it because it's early,
right?
But it looks good. It looks good right now, and we'll see. We'll see what comes about out of this team. Going forward, because you can't win on paper. You look good on paper, but you can't win on paper, right? Yeah. And we got a lot of work to do, a lot of holes to fill on this team, and we'll see what happens, man. So just a little bit more about Jamari Harris, and I'm sorry, I cut you off. 6'1.5", 191 pounds. 37-inch vertical, 10-foot broad jump. And so, like you said, he's athletic, has some issues out the field, but again, that's it. We'll see what happens. But go ahead.
I was going to answer. I saw Taylor had a question about, does this give the scouting department a good grade versus the earlier regimes? I think because the scouting department didn't change. Right. Like you get it. We learned that when Rand came in, that we still had J-Rob scouts for a year and a half.
Right.
I think what you saw, especially listening to, I think it was the head scouts or the area scouts that spoke after the 5th round or so. I think the philosophy shift was a little different by the time he came in, because again, you can't just uproot and scout everybody different. But what I will say is a lot of folks that came in either undrafted or that they did draft are folks that they saw either at the East-West Shrine game, the Senior Bowl, or brought them in for 30 visits. So I think to your point, I mean, you heard Borgonzi say they were going to be working for like 14, 15-hour days ever since he got hired since the beginning of February. So I think you saw that philosophy change where it was just all about all ball and let's figure out the best way we can put a ball team together given the holes. Because I'll be honest, nobody has said it yet, but I can already tell you the weak spot that we're going to have to draft for next year. If everything works out right, offensive line, making the switches and the right tackle solidified because you moved JC back over there. You got your left tackle, Dan Moore. The one spot on this team that is going to be a crutch this entire year is outside linebacker.
I agree. 100%. 100%.
bad.
Because you got Lorenzo Carter.
Yes.
He ain't had no sacks.
No,
He ain't no sacks.
outside
Good run
linebacker.
defender.
Yes.
He ain't no sacks. So, you are so right. You are so right. 100% agree. You're right. And you hope for Olafemi to come around and be that rusher we need, because that frees up the interior guys, Big Sweat and Big Jeff.
Yes.
Right. We need that threat on the edge. We've talked about that ad nauseam, how we need to be able to have somebody that's a threat on the outside. Because if not, then you'll hear people always talk, "Oh, Big Jeff ain't go ahead and trade him. He ain't doing that."
He ain't doing that.
Show me a play where he's not double team.
Yeah, or triple team.
Yeah, show me that. And show me when he doesn't win, when he's one-on-one block.
Yeah,
and then I could agree with you. Because right now, it's all he gets is double and triple.
That's it.
And he's beating those every so often.
Yeah.
But it's tough when there's not another threat on the field.
No.
Yeah, Restrepo, he broke the Reggie Rangers record. That's right. Boston Titans says he's a chain mover and a TD maker.
I agree.
Taylor says he's a Wes Welker clone.
I wouldn't be mad with that.
What happens to Levis?
I
don't even know if you trade him at this point.
No, I trade him.
Still trade him?
He won't be on the team. I trade him because somebody's gonna give you a 7th or 6th round for next year. Yeah, I thought you could have moved him. I mean, who was that they got traded? Sam Howell. They got traded in the draft. To the Vikings. I thought it was an outside shot. He got traded in the draft, but now that the draft's over, I think you will look at a team that needs a backup, that's established its starter, that will need a backup and would rather go with somebody. I mean, he's got NFL experience, 2 years worth. He's been in games, etc. And somebody who think they can fix him. So I definitely think that he gets traded and or released, because I just I can't see him being in the room, in that quarterback room still at the end of the year.
Yeah, I don't think so either. It just wouldn't make sense. Nathan Key is still around. Yeah. So now you're going to see Key as a situational player, I think.
I do too.
He's better at rushing the passer than he is a run defender.
Yes.
He struggled with setting the edge. I mean, he did better. I'm going to give him his credit. He did better last season. But we know that his Achilles is setting that edge.
And then let's be fair. He did better once he heard the trade rumors.
Oh, that's true. Because he was saying he put stuff on resume, right? He tried to build a resume.
Right.
So you are exactly right. And so, he's still at Boston Titan.
I agree with him saying, yes.
The edge guys are huge now.
Yep.
Right? Lorenzo Carter, I think he's like 6'4", 260, 6'3", 260. You got the rookie coming in the same way, but go ahead.
So just go ahead to Boston Titans. And again, thank you for joining. To his comment, where did Denard look at the system he came from in Baltimore and his history? Baltimore whole D-line, include edge, or big guys. So I 100% agree with Boston Titans saying. We've got some bigger bodies now on those edges.
And what did he do a lot more with those big bodies? He ran more stunts in games, right?
Yep.
More zone blitzes, because now you got big guys that can gobble up people.
Oh, yes.
Right? So now, like I said, year 2 of Denard's system, right? Now you get more of the players that he wants, right? And we'll see. Hopefully, we'll see a better defense than we had. Now, defense was good last year. Don't get it twisted. Number one against the pass, or top 5 at least.
Yeah.
The run defense wasn't as well, but it's because the offense couldn't score. Coach Carver, man, thank you for joining us. Mikey said trade Levis to the Steelers. Him and Mason Rudolph have get this Tyson number 1 pick.
Mikey, as quiet as he's kept, that's who I thought they would trade him to.
I did too.
I thought he would go to the Steelers, but
they didn't draft one
at
first.
But
they get Will Howard. So the draft is crazy on the quarterback situation. Man. Cleveland got 5 deep.
5.
Why go Dylan Gabriel and
5.
you just that's the whole story.
So I give you this is Cleveland. You still stuck with that dumb contract for Deshaun, and I think he can get out of it after next year. I'd have to go back and look at my stuff, but I think they can get out of it next year. So what they've done with 2 rookies who are on the cheap, you really, if you hit on one or don't hit on the other, one's trade bait, and then you can get Deshaun off your book. So I mean, I still think you should have went with Shedeur before Dylan, but that's the only thought process I could think, because You're not going to get rid of Flacco. Flacco makes the team this year because that's your veteran to be the backup. Kenny, is it Kenny Pickett there? Yeah, good luck with Kenny Pickett. And then you're starting to run these two records. They traded for him. Traded for Kenny Pickett.
Man, thank you. The coach plays. Thank you for joining us, man. Appreciate you. Yeah, Nathan, I'm ready for Brian Lee Jr. too.
Me too.
In year 2, man. You know how he played last year. He was real handsy. Got a lot of PIs. We said he's gonna get a lot of PIs, right?
Yes.
You hope though that Snead comes back healthy. Yeah,
Yes.
I hate Nathan took it right on my. You hope he comes back healthy and strong. According to Callahan, he's on par to be ready for camp. And we'll see what happens. The coach says solid draft for the Titans. I worry about the Penn State safety coming off an injury, but I do love the 2 wide receivers in the 4th round and the tight end pick as well. Coach, thank you for joining us, man. Thank you for the comment. He did run a 40 for his pro day.
He ran a 40. He ran between a 4.4 and a 4.5 for his pro day on the toys. So.
Yes, I'm with you though. We all as Titan fans have some PTSD from injuries and drafting people. But in this particular situation, I think we're in the better spot because you can't run a 40 and run a 4.45. Your ACL still messed up. Yeah. I just don't know.
I think you can. I mean, because we still got Amani, and who do we pick up in free agency?
Xavier Woods.
Xavier Woods, and I think that you see Quandre Diggs come back if he's healthy.
Yeah, he's on a 1-year deal, right?
Yeah, and his cousin is your quarterback now.
His cousin is your quarterback.
I wouldn't be. And he was playing some solid ball before the turf tore his foot up. So I think you can see him come back, and again, that gives your safety even better chance to not have to rush him back. Like that's the one thing I'll say about his injury. It's a position that he's my starter in 2026 or 2027. Yep. If I get something out of him in 2025, that's cherry on top. But he's not a position that you at least need to start right now.
No, and I think he comes in on special packages because he's big. He can tackle. You know what I'm saying?
And he can cover the tight end.
Yeah. He might be our new tight end eraser. We don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Is like I said, it's young. We're just not getting started. And I know. OTAs are getting ready to start here next month. So we'll see what happens, man. I just can't wait to. I want to get, going to camp practice. It's always fun, but I think it'll be even more fun now. We're gonna see.
Yes.
We're gonna see. Cam and Boston. We agree, man. Diggs would be nice. To see Coach say, it worries me like Caleb Farley.
Oh yes,
him running a 40 is good. It's only a partial
tear. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Really talks how. Yeah, man. And we said earlier on the show. Thank you for joining us. That he. If he hadn't been injured, he's going to be a top 15 pick by all the experts said. We are weak at the linebacker group. I would agree with you.
Yes.
They brought in a couple of free agents, undrafted free agents. We'll see. They might be able to stick and stay. There was a guy out of Texas that came, and it was another one. I can't remember at this moment. But if you agree with J. Lou, edge and possibly inside linebacker, Cedric Gray, James Williams. We'll see.
We'll see, but.
Cody Bolton, they brought in a free agent. I mean, they signed in the offseason as free agents. So we'll see, man. We'll see what happens there. Grade the O-line. If I had to grade it right now, I would probably give it a C+.
I'd give it that's average. I think they're average. I saw Nathan ask about Dan Moore, and everybody's going to look at Dan Moore's contract. He can't help with the market set, and nobody. You got to pay premium. You got to pay we're bad tax because we were a bad team and a premium at that position. And if you could just get them to be average from a left tackle spot, you solidify your offensive line by actually having a true left tackle there. And I think you will see. Your boy JC do even better because he's moving to right tackle.
Right. And so see, what's one of your boys that J. Lou?
That is man, good old Colt. Yeah, I know good old Colt, man. I've been knowing him since he was a youngin. He's actually, if I'm not mistaken, Colt. I think he offensive coordinator over at Mount Juliet Bears High School.
Okay,
I'm not mistaken. So
well, I've seen him there.
You've seen him.
He just don't recognize it right now.
Yeah, exactly.
He just don't recognize it right now. Did they get Long back for outside linebacker?
Not yet. I don't think they signed. He's talking about. Are you talking about David Long Jr.? Because I know David Long was a free agent, but I don't think they signed him.
Okay. Coach Saban, he was talking about the safety. Coach Saban said
he would have gone first.
No doubt, man, no doubt. But yeah, so solid draft. We'll see. Interesting free agents as well. And you see the the mindset of this front office about what they
Yes.
want to build. They want to get football players. Even with the free agents we signed, J. Lou, they all have had plenty of snaps, right?
Yes.
So not only do they
Plenty
want
of snaps and no injuries.
no injuries, right? So they want
Yes.
some durable players. They want some guys that love ball. And Lil J. Lou's in there. He want to come take over the show.
Yes, of course.
And thank y'all for joining us for another episode of Halftime Adjustments. Eddie out there with the J. Lou. Man, thank you for all the comments, the questions, man. Glad to be back with y'all, man. And okay, coach, we'll keep that on the DL, man.
Yeah.
I thought you probably recognized my face. I've seen you plenty of times.
Yeah.
But anyway, thank y'all again for joining us, man. Check us out next time. Look out for the information for the show, man. We'll be coming back talking about.
We got one more important date.
The schedule release is coming.
May 14th.
May 14th. So we're gonna break it down. And we're gonna look at the schedule. Yeah, we gotta get little J. Lou some airtime, man. What's going on, little Lou? With some gum. Again, man, thank y'all for joining us, man. Check us out next time. Mr. J. Lou, Eddie, Eddie out there, your host. Halftime Adjustments. We out of here.